And for more on the National Winter Games, let's turn to Paul Dong in Beijing. He's the co-founder and CEO of EI Asia Limited, as well as a sports industry observer and commentator. Always great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Elaine, for having me again.
Well, Paul, let's take a look at these games. What stood out to you, and would they be considered a success?
Well, when you talk about a given sport or a skiing event, it's different from hosting such a mega multi-event, something really, really big for the host city and for even the hosting province. It's very different from for a country or for a city to put together such multiple sport events. So it's more than sporting itself. Of course, it's a very good window for China to review where it is in terms of very high level professional or country representative athletes 2 years after Beijing hosted the Winter Olympics. It's a good opportunity, but at the same time, it's very important event for local economy in Inner Mongolia, because Inner Mongolia first won the bid to host the games more than 4 years ago. Just imagine that this national games should have been held 4 years ago or 2 years before Beijing Winter Olympics, but now it happens 2 years after the Olympics. So the positioning can be very, very different. It's a different challenge. But so far, I think with the experience of witnessing or even participating in the Beijing Olympics, many of the athletes representing the top level of the country are leading the way for many, many others who didn't have the opportunity to experience the atmosphere and by competing against the best.
We know that Inner Mongolia is a very unique place. Talk about its role as host for the Games, and then looking forward to Liaoning, the next host of the Games, and what makes that such a unique place to draw the next National Games?
Right, that's a very good question, Elaine. I have been thinking about this. I think by choosing Inner Mongolia and Ulaanbaatar, the name of this particular host city, it still represents, where China is in terms of a very long-term transition from the old-fashioned mindset of hosting winter sports in very, very cold places, like Inner Mongolia, like Harbin of Heilongjiang. But now, from the economic perspective and also from climate perspective, people are aware that the best climate for outdoor, especially outdoor skiing events, is preferably warmer than what we are having now in this host city. But that's something to happen in the future. We are still in this very long transitioning process. But I don't mean that they don't deserve a lot of credit. I think they deserve the admiration and a lot of people's applause and people supporting the event. But it's a very, very tough schedule for them to keep, flexibly changing and readjusting their timetable because of the very, very harsh weather.
What do you think were the biggest lessons learned, and what do you think about the growth of winter sports in China, even from the Winter Olympics 2 years ago to what you're seeing now and in the future?
Yes. If you look at all the teams representing more than 30 provinces and also Hong Kong and Macau, almost all places across China have some representatives competing for their own provinces or regions in Ulaanbaatar this time around. That means economically there are more places with the better financial resources and capabilities to grow the sport or winter sports in their own places by hiring athletes representing originally from the very cold places like Inner Mongolia and the northeast of China or Xinjiang. That means this economic momentum will help diversify all these athletes and talents across China to help inspire indigenous athletes in southern China, eastern China, and southwestern China. that will be something that I think the central government will be very happy to see, the real diversification of winter sports among the country's total population, instead of, as traditionally the case, be more focused only in the north.
We always enjoy getting your take, the latest with sports information. Paul Dong in Beijing, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.